So these are a few ideas you can try if you're interested in having a go at solo role-playing but you haven't got around to it yet. So one thing you're going to need is a set of rules to work with. I like White Box, fantastic medieval adventure game. The PDF is available for free and the book is very cheap on Amazon, as is Basic Fantasy, and they're both really great games. This is available from a link in the description. It is perfectly free. It will be improved as time goes on, but this is it as it stands. This is my reference sheet. It's basically got rules for heroes are tougher than average. When you roll your statistics, you roll 4d6 and drop the lowest, and you assign those numbers wherever you want among your abilities, and you start with maximum hit points for your character class. First aid and healing after a successful fight. You can spend a short time binding your wounds and regain 1d6 hit points, and you'll regain all of your hit points after 8 hours sleep. White Box has a rule for binding wounds as well. Now, dicing with death. When you get to 0 hit points, you have 4 fate points to spend. You spend one of those to recover 1d4 hit points and then roll d6 on the following table to find out what happened to you. And we have some random tables here: a simple oracle, NPC or monster reactions, room contents when you're going through a dungeon or whatever, a simple treasure table, and potions and magic items are included in every good role-playing game. A few plots you can choose from, some random locations, a way to build dungeons here, and rooms, and special events that come out of nowhere, and little things like that. Now, this is part of SoloDark. This is available for free from the Arcane Library, and I printed this off because it has some prompts. So you can roll a D100 twice to come up with some results which will hopefully spark your imagination. So, can we make a decent adventure just by using these resources here? So I've got my main character, Wilhelm Ironfist here, and Alfred Kneebreaker. So Wilhelm is the sword guy, and Alfred, well, they've both got swords and bows, but Alfred's got a long bow, so his is more prominent in his little meeple over there. Now, when you're dealing with any kind of oracle in your solo role-playing, there are no wrong answers. Nobody is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, you can't say that, you're cheating because you're training for the solo role-playing Olympics. No, there are no wrong answers. So if I look at this little list of plots here, we could have a go at that and see if there's anything that grabs us. So if we roll a 20, meet the aliens. So if we come across some strange creatures that have never been seen before, we could try and conjure something from that. If we have a vague roll on here, we might not get anything appropriate, but you never know. 12 is a healer or wizard. So perhaps a healer or wizard is aware of these strange creatures that have never been seen before. If we roll on this oracle here and ask, are these creatures, according to the wizard, seemingly friendly? 4, yes, but. Perhaps but means that they've suddenly appeared, they've crept out of somewhere or through somewhere into our world or society, and they are friendly, but they are being harassed by other things that are not friendly. Just let your brain cogs go wherever they want to go, basically. So if we add a bit of spice by rolling on these prompts to give us some extra stuff that might conjure something. 68 is, the verb is darken, and the noun is 24. Darken freedom. So that's could mean that darken freedom could be interpreted as these other unfriendly things are trying to capture the friendly things that the wizard is talking about. So perhaps they have these creatures have emerged or arrived from wherever, and this other lot of creatures want to use them for, it could be something like mining or something like that. So if we have a look at this again, let's have a bit of a location roll again, see if it just, townhouse, not quite. Perhaps they just want to use them as general dogs' bodies, you know, to do their very menial tasks like snotlings are to orcs or something. So these perfectly nice creatures have perhaps emerged from a cave somewhere where they've been living in seclusion, and these possibly orc types or gnoll types have sort of kind of rounded them up and are expecting them to do their bidding. And this wizard, who is aware of these creatures, thinks that we should try and set them free from these, let's say, gnolls, for example. And so we shall accept this mission to go and try and set these creatures free. So if we scale everything down to make it more manageable, perhaps a couple of gnomes from a hitherto unknown tribe who live deep underground have emerged. They've got in touch with this wizard, and they've been captured by these gnolls who want to use their magical powers and whatever else for their own nefarious deeds. So the wizard has asked us to go and set the gnomes free and deal with these possibly gnolls who have captured them. So, getting to the heart of the action, which is the gnolls' hideout, we want to immediately get stuck in and try and find and rescue these gnomes. So let's have a look. In this dungeon section we have this chart here, and we can roll a d10 to find out what this first section is. It's a left turn. Corridor a bit wider there, sorry. So, what is the feature in this area? So there are no doors. Let's roll a d10 to see what we find. 8 is nothing. So we are allowed to continue around here. So keeping track of that, we come to the next section, rolling a d10, and it is a 3, which is a passage with 2 doors. So we're going to listen at this door, and if we succeed, then if there are monsters that end up being in there, then we won't be surprised. Okay, we don't hear anything. So we're going to open the door, because a locked door prevents us from having fun. And this room is, rolling a d6, it is a medium-sized room. And the contents of this room are a trap. Now, firstly, are there any other doors? I'll just quickly check that. 4 minus 1 is 3. There are 3 other doors. So if we look here at the trap section, most traps and pits are triggered on a roll of 1 to 2 on a d6 when any player passes over the triggering mechanism. So if either of us roll 1 or a 2, then the trap is triggered, and it is not. So luckily we do not trigger the trap. That's something. But we have 3 other doors to think about. Okay, now looking at the map, that is this door. So if this corridor were to turn down there, then it would lead to that corridor, but we don't know. So we're going to have a listen. And we don't hear anything there. So I think let's roll a straight oracle, yes or no. Is this to a passage, 1 to 3, or a door, 4 to 6? I mean room. So it's to another room. So as we open it, let's find out what this other room is. It is a small room, so perhaps a little cupboard or a pantry or something. And what is in the room? 5 is a mystery. So firstly, how many other doors are there? D4 minus 1. There are 3 other doors. That's a bit crazy. So that, yeah, we'll see, won't we? So we're currently in here, and I think it makes sense for the north door to go back into that corridor. It just sort of makes sense somehow. And we will have a look at this SoloDark Oracle to give us an idea about the mystery. So 2d100 rolls. 53 verb is defy, and 24 is defy freedom. So perhaps that means that this door locked behind us and these other doors are locked as well. So we need to somehow find our way out. We can either try and pick the lock in some way, even though we're not a thief. We've still got some kind of chance to do that. As we are not trained thieves or anything, I'm ruling that we have a 1 in 6 chance of opening this door if we both have a go at it. Either of us roll a 1? No. So in that case, we're going to have to bash it down if we want to get through it. And that's going to take some time. And it's also going to make a lot of noise. So as we bash open the door, which we will do eventually, I'm going to roll for wandering monsters that may have been attracted. So I'm going to say 1 or a 2. So then some monsters will be drawn to us. And indeed, with making all that racket, and I am going to use my decisions. With the way this dungeon is going, I think that this will lead to another corridor. I'm just using my instincts there and deciding that there will be another corridor there. So we come out into a corridor, and unfortunately there are some monsters there. So I'm just going to quickly roll for this, or have a look at my possible options for this junction here. So we could go with left turn. Okay, is this a straight left turn on a 1 to 3, or is it a T-junction on a 4 to 6? It's a T-junction, so it goes off up there as well. Now, we need to find out what these monsters are, who we've attracted. So just because these gnolls have their hideout somewhere in here, doesn't necessarily mean that other creatures aren't here either. Because it seems to be, I'm feeling like it's a sprawling underworld where lots of nefarious creatures live. So we're going to roll a d12 on dungeon level 1 and see what turns up. 11 is a Sturge. So, as there's two of us, let's have a look at how strong Sturges are. Because we want a good fight, but we don't want to be immediately overpowered with our beginning characters. Sturge, they are hit dice 1. So I think maybe there are 2 of them, just to get us into the... As we're feeling our way into this game, let's have a fight with 2 Sturges. So, let us read the description and see if there's anything that jumps out that we can use. These tiny birds have needle-like beaks which they use to impale their victims and then drain them of blood. Whenever a Sturge makes a successful melee attack, they remain attached to their target and automatically inflict 1d6 minus 1 points of damage each round as they drink the victim's blood. Right, so let's see if we are surprised, 1 or 2, because we failed our listening roll. And are they surprised? Yes, they are, which is lucky. So we are going to get our first go, and we've both got bows. We will whip out our bows and try and shoot them. Now their hit dice are d6 minus 1. So they both got 4 hit points. So Wilhelm will attack with his short bow. We are at close range, so we will get a +1 to hit. So we get +2 actually at short range, and our rate of fire is 2, so we can shoot 2 shots in this round. Awesome. So Wilhelm will get a +3 in total because his dexterity is good, trying to hit their armour class. So we're after a 14. We'll aim at him first of all. Adding... Oh, wow. That sucks. Adding a 3 for our second shot. The same one. That is a hit. He's using a short bow, so he rolls 1d6 minus 1. And he does that Sturge 1 point of damage. Now, Alfred, with his longbow, he is going to make 2 attacks as well. He only gets +2 bonus because of the short range. His dexterity is not all that. That's 12, that's not good enough. And the second shot, oh, no. Pew, pew. Sadly, his 2 arrows go wide of the mark. So we've had our free attack because we surprised them, or they were surprised. So they roll a 3 for their initiative. We roll a 3 for our initiative. So everything happens simultaneously. So we are going to fire off 2 shots each again. We are getting +5, +3, sorry, +2, +3 total for Wilhelm with his short bow. 13, that's not enough. And his second shot. It's really bad. So Alfred will shoot as well, 2 shots, adding +2 for the short range. That is enough, that is 1 hit. So that's d6 damage, 3 damage. And his second shot. Oh yes. 4 damage. So he's going to pick off that one, and that one is on 1. So let's see what the Sturge does. So as everything's happening simultaneously in this turn, then I'm not going to sort of think about morale just at the moment. The Sturge is going to just immediately fly in and try and attack. It needs a 15 to hit Wilhelm. Oh no, that's not good. So it rolls d6 minus 1 damage. 3 minus 1, that's a 2. So Wilhelm is going to try and get this Sturge off him, but we're going to roll for a new round of initiative. This is for the Sturge. This is for us. Oh, thank goodness. Right. Wilhelm will attack the Sturge. He gets +1 for his strength because he's pulled his sword out. Oh no! So Alfred is going to try and get the Sturge off of Wilhelm. So he just does a straight roll, trying to get a 14. Oh no. And the Sturge is just still attached. So it's just going to automatically do d6 minus 1 damage. So that's another 3 damage. So we'll roll for initiative for the next round. Oh, 6 for the Sturge. 4 for us. The Sturge continues to drain the blood from Wilhelm. That is 4. That's just 3 more damage. He is down to 0. Now I just want to see what Alfred can do. Can he kill the Sturge immediately? 12. No. So Wilhelm is down. Alfred is still up. So what does the Sturge do? It rolls 5 for initiative. Alfred rolls 1 for initiative. So the Sturge goes to attack Alfred and misses. Alfred retaliates with his longsword. No. They're just flailing at each other. Sturge rolls 4. Alfred rolls 6. Alfred goes first. Yes, that's the stuff. And he kills the Sturge. And he's quick enough, I think, to be able to help out Wilhelm, because, you know, he's right there. So he can bind his wounds. And as he's not, well, let's roll to see how much health he's able to get back using our healing rules here. He's able to apply some kind of first aid, and he gets 5 hit points back. Now, of course, I can bring my adventure to its conclusion whenever I feel like it, because it's my story and it's my game, just as your story is yours. And you can think, do you know what? I've played enough for tonight. I want to wrap this story up. You could always stop and carry on some other time, or you could just do a little conclusion to a mini story, whatever you want to do. And so if we come to find these probably gnolls, we've said, they're guarding these gnomes here who we're trying to rescue, and we're aware that there's enough gnolls to be able to capture these gnomes, so we want to be a bit cunning about this. So I'm going to use we're going to use some oil, because it's a classic trick, really. We can use our environment, of course, because it makes fights and stuff a lot more interesting. So we're going to pour some oil down here. Try and be discreet about it. And of course, one of us, I think, I think Alfred will get down ready to set fire to this with the flint and tinder from Wilhelm, and Wilhelm will get ready with his bow. We will stand back a bit, and we're obviously going to take them by surprise. Wilhelm will shout, and as he does that and they start running towards him, Alfred will set fire to this oil and try and set the set the gnolls on fire. So that's what we're going to do. They're going to be alarmed and they're going to run at us. And at this point, Alfred will set them on fire, and Wilhelm will get a +3 total to try and hit well, possibly both of them. So let's go looking for their armour class of 14. So Wilhelm gets a +3 total because we're at short range and he's good at shooting. That's one hit and another hit. So we get d6 -1 for each of our hits. Wow, that's 5 and a 4. So one of them is completely dead because his hit points are 5, and the other one is down to 3. But then the flames kick in and he takes 4 more damage, which toasts him. That's cool. So as we didn't engage in any sword clanging or anything, we dealt with that pretty quietly. So I think we're going to get... Do you know, I bet those gnolls perhaps didn't have the key. Maybe the key is in here. So we will check our oracle. Let's just do a simple yes or no. Did those gnolls have the key? 4 to 6 they did. No, they didn't. We've got to get it from here. Okay. We're going to have to face off against 2 more gnolls. Now, we're not going to know that the gnolls are actually there. We're just assuming they might be. So we could, I think we could be surprised. So let's have a listen. See if we can hear them. No, we can't. So there's still the possibility that we could be surprised when we burst in. So let us burst in. Maybe it doesn't make sense that we would be surprised, but yeah, we're literally not going to know that they're there. We are not surprised. Are they surprised? No, they're not. So let us begin. So initiative for us, initiative for them. Ooh. So they are quicker off the mark than we are, and they're both just going to leap up and charge at us. This one will attack Wilhelm. His armour class is 15. Adds 2. Oh, that's a hit. That's not good. It's going to do d6 damage. That's a 4. We could be in trouble. And this one attacks Alfred, needing a 14, adding 2. Luckily it misses, it swings for him, but he ducks out the way. Now we get to retaliate. Wilhelm is not very well at all, but he rolls and he adds +1. That is great. Oops. That went over there somewhere. And it actually rolled a 5. But, you know, let's be civilised. Okay, we'll say it's a 3. And Alfred attacks, trying to get a 14 and misses. Okay, so for the gnolls and for us, oh, they attack first again. It adds 2, it's aiming for a 15, this one. Luckily no. This one also adds 2, aiming for a 14 against Alfred. And no, so maybe this is our chance. Adding a 1, aiming for a 14. That is a hit. Oh yes. That one is dead. Now, Alfred, come on. Oh yes. And that is another fatal blow. So, as we found out from the oracle, the key is in here. So we get it, and we open the door and rescue these 2 gnomes, and who are friends with the wizard. So we will take them back to see the wizard and they will no doubt be very grateful for being set free, and we will probably get a nice reward. So that was just a little example dungeon adventure using Whitebox, a great game full of great monsters and some encounter tables for different environments, so you can have surprises because you never know what monster might turn up if you don't already have an idea of what you want to fight. And this little sheet available from the link in the description, completely free. It's just a little PDF with some handy tables on there, and this is available from the Arcane Library. This is SoloDark, and you can print out whatever bits of it you want, like these handy prompts which can add, if you come up with like a mystery or something, then this can sort of give you an idea of where it might go. It can add some flavour to other types of encounter as well, or any kind of mysterious thing that you need a little bit more inspiration on. So all of these are totally free. Whitebox PDF is free, and the wonderfully illustrated book is very cheap on Amazon, and it's absolutely full of a wealth of material that you can use. Hope this has been a bit helpful. Anyway, thanks for watching.